Most people think leadership is about speaking first and being seen everywhere. You should watch this entire video at least once in your life. At the end of the video, you will understand how important the video is for you. So finish the video carefully and give your review. Real leadership is often quieter than that. It shows up in how you control yourself when no one is watching. It shows up in the way you handle pressure with a steady mind. It shows up in the habits you keep every single day, even when they feel small and unnoticed. This book is about that kind of strength. The kind that does not need applause. The kind that grows in silence and becomes visible through results. Inside this audiobook, you will learn how to build self-control, confidence, emotional discipline, clear goals, strong habits, focused thinking, and quiet influence that earns respect without forcing it. If life has felt scattered, if your mind has been too noisy, or if you have been waiting for the right moment to become better, this message is for you. What follows is simple, direct, and practical. It is about becoming the kind of person who stays steady, keeps going, and leads through action. Stay with this journey. The lessons ahead may change the way you see yourself and the way you move through life. Chapter 1. Build self-control through quiet, consistent, daily, disciplined actions. Self-control is not built in a dramatic moment. It is built in quiet moments that no one sees. It is built when you wake up and do what matters before your mind starts asking for comfort. It is built when you feel tired and still choose the right action. It is built when you want to react fast, but instead you pause and think. It is built when you keep your word to yourself even when no one is watching. That kind of strength does not come from noise. It comes from repetition. It comes from daily discipline. It comes from small acts that may seem ordinary on the outside but are changing your character on the inside. A person with self-control does not need constant praise. They do not need attention to stay committed. They do not need applause to do the right thing. They know that real power is private first. Real progress begins when your habits become stronger than your moods. Real growth begins when you stop asking how you feel and start asking what must be done. That is where leadership starts too. Not with a title, not with a crowd, not with a loud voice. It starts with control over yourself. Many people struggle because they try to change everything at once. They want a new life without changing their daily behavior. They want discipline but keep giving into every impulse. They want peace but keep feeding chaos. They want confidence but break promises to themselves. They want respect but do not respect their own time, their own focus, or their own boundaries. Self-control begins when you decide that your life will no longer be shaped by every passing feeling. It begins when you stop living as a reaction and start living by intention. There is a strong truth here. Your future is not built by occasional effort. It is built by quiet consistency. One disciplined action repeated every day matters more than a burst of energy that fades in 3 days. A person who exercises for 10 minutes daily often grows stronger than the person who trains hard once in a while and quits. A person who reads a few pages daily often learns more than the person who waits for the perfect time to study and never starts. A person who speaks with restraint and thinks before acting often earns more trust than the person who constantly demands attention. Consistency creates identity. Repetition creates strength. Daily discipline creates self-control. If you want to become a person who moves like a leader, even in silence, begin with the small visions that shape your day. Wake up at the time you said you would wake up. Make your bed, wash your face, drink water, sit down, and plan the day before the day starts planning. You do the hardest important task first while your mind is still clear. Do not wait until you feel motivated. Motivation is unstable. Self-control is stable. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. The morning matters because it sets the tone for the rest of the day. When you begin with order, the day feels more manageable. When you begin with chaos, you spend the rest of the day trying to recover. The first hour of your day can teach your mind who is in charge. If the first thing you do is reach for distractions, your mind learns that impulse rules you. If the first thing you do is breathe, think and choose purpose, your mind learns that you are in control. That is a powerful difference. It may seem small, but small beginnings shape large outcomes. Self-control is not about being cold or lifeless. It is not about denying every pleasure or treating yourself harshly. It is about choosing what helps you more than what harms you. It is about learning that not every desire deserves action. It is about understanding that a strong tower can feel temptation without obeying it. A strong person can feel anger without exploding. A strong person can feel tired without surrendering to laziness. A strong person can feel fear without running from duty. This is not weakness. This is mastery. When people think of discipline, they often imagine force. But true discipline is deeper than force. It is clear judgment. It is the ability to see farther than the present moment. The undisciplined person asks, "What do I want right now?" The disciplined person asks, "What choice will help my life tomorrow?" That one difference changes everything. It changes money habits. It changes health. It changes relationships. It changes work. It changes confidence. Every serious improvement in life requires the ability to choose the better long-term result over the easier short-term comfort. Start with your habits. Habits are where self-control is tested every day. A habit is a repeated decision that no longer feels like a decision. That is why it matters so much. If your habits are weak, your life becomes unstable. If your habits are strong, your life becomes steady. Build a habit of finishing what you start. Build a habit of arriving on time. Build a habit of cleaning your space. Build a habit of doing one meaningful task before entertainment. Build a habit of keeping your environment simple enough for your mind to stay calm. These are not small things. They train your mind to obey your values. A cluttered room often leads to a cluttered mind. A disorganized schedule often leads to a distracted life. When your surroundings are filled with unfinished tasks and random noise, it becomes harder to stay centered. Order outside supports order inside. That is why quiet discipline starts with physical actions. Put things back where they belong. Remove what you no longer need. Keep your phone away when you need to focus. Sit in a clean place when you need to think. These choices may not look impressive to others, but they build inner strength. One of the best tests of self-control is how you respond when nobody is forcing you. Can you stay committed when no one is checking on you? Can you follow through when no one will praise you? Can you keep a promise just because your word matters to you? This is where many people fail. They need pressure from outside to behave well. But real growth happens when your standards come from inside. You become trustworthy when you do what is right because it is right. Not because someone is watching. Not because you fear criticism. Not because you want applause, because your character demands it. There is power in private commitment. Say less and do more. Make your plan quietly. Protect your energy. Move with patience. Do not rush to announce every goal. Not every aim needs a public statement. Some of the strongest progress happens in silence. When you speak too early, you may weaken your own focus. You may spend more time explaining your intention than living it. Keep the main thing simple. Set the target. Work the plan. Repeat the process. Let results speak in their own time. Daily discipline often looks ordinary. That is why many people overlook it. They think greatness should feel exciting all the time. But real change often feels repetitive. It feels like reading another page. It feels like taking another walk. It feels like choosing one healthy meal instead of another convenience choice. It feels like writing another paragraph. It feels like waking up again after a difficult day and starting again with dignity. There is nothing glamorous about this in the moment, but there is something deeply powerful about it in the long run. Ordinary discipline done consistently becomes an uncommon life. Your emotions will not always support your goals. Some days you will feel strong. Some days you will feel tired. Some days you will feel focused. Some days you will feel restless and scattered. That is normal, but discipline means you do not hand control of your life over to your mood. You respect your emotions but do not let them lead everything. You listen to them without obeying them blindly. That is a mature way to live. Emotion is real, but emotion is not the ruler. Your values must be stronger than your feelings. When frustration comes, do not let it turn into reckless action. When disappointment comes, do not let it become self-destruction. When pressure comes, Do not let it force you to abandon your standards. Pause before speaking. Pause before spending. Pause before quitting. Pause before reacting online. Pause before making a decision that will create regret. A short pause can save you from a long mistake. This habit alone can change your life. It gives wisdom room to enter before impulse takes over. You can train this. Self-control is not something only a few people are born with. It is a skill. Skills are learned through practice. Every time you delay an unnecessary urge, you become stronger. Every time you keep your focus on one task, you become stronger. Every time you choose a responsible action over an easy distraction, you become stronger. This is how character is built. Not in a single day, not in a single speech, but in repeated choices made quietly over time. Begin with one area of your life and make it solid. Do not try to control everything at once. That often leads to exhaustion and failure. Pick one habit and hold it steady. Maybe it is waking up earlier. Maybe it is drinking water before coffee or sugar. Maybe it is reading for 20 minutes. Maybe it is walking every day. Maybe it is avoiding unnecessary spending. Maybe it is limiting social media until your work is done. Choose one thing and keep it stable until it becomes part of your identity. That is how self-control grows without becoming overwhelming. There is also a deep connection between self-control and self-respect. When you care about yourself, you stop treating your own life carelessly. You stop saying yes to every request. You stop wasting hours on things that leave you empty. You stop speaking to yourself in ways that weaken your spirit. You begin to protect your time. You protect your attention. You protect your peace. Self-respect is not arrogance. It is responsibility. It is the quiet decision to treat your life as something valuable. A disciplined person does not need to be the loudest in the room. They do not need to compete for attention. They carry a calm strength. They know who they are because they live according to clear standards. They do not change their behavior just to fit every situation. They remain steady. That steadiness becomes a form of leadership. People notice when someone is dependable. People trust calmness. People respect consistency. A silent leader often has more influence than a noisy one because their behavior has weight. You do not need to win every argument. You do not need to answer every comment. You do not need to prove yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Self-control includes knowing when silence is wiser than reaction. Some conflicts are not worth your energy. Some conversations do not deserve your full attention. Some people want a reaction more than a solution. A disciplined person knows how to step back and preserve peace. That is not weakness. That is strength under control. There will be days when progress feels slow. On those days, remember that progress does not always announce itself. Roots grow underground before anything is seen above the surface. In the same way, your discipline is growing beneath the surface long before others notice. Every time you choose a better action, you are changing your habits. Every time you refuse a lazy impulse, you are strengthening your mind. Every time you keep going without applause, you are becoming someone more stable and more capable. Stay with it. Quiet progress is still progress. Be honest about the places where you lose control. Notice what pulls you off track. Notice when you are most tempted to procrastinate. Notice when you overeat, overspend, overscroll, overreact, or avoid responsibility. Do not judge yourself with cruelty. Study yourself with honesty. Awareness is the beginning of improvement. When you understand your patterns, you can interrupt them. When you understand your weak moments, you can prepare for them. Self-control is easier when you know your own habits clearly. Preparation matters. If you know certain situations drain your discipline, then prepare before they happen. Keep healthy food available so you do not make rush choices. Keep your work tools ready so it is easier to begin. Keep your phone in another room during focus time. Keep your schedule visible so your day has direction. Keep a simple list of what matters most. Discipline is not only about willpower. It is also about design. A wise person designs their day to make good choices easier. There is dignity in doing what is right without needing praise. There is strength in continuing when no one claps. There is peace in not being controlled by every urge. This does not mean your life will become easy. It means your life will become solid. You will still face pressure. You will still face temptation. You will still have hard days, but you will not be ruled by every one of them. That difference is life-changing. It gives you a center. It gives you stability. It gives you the ability to move forward without losing yourself. A practical way to build self-control is to keep small promises every single day. Do not promise too much. Promise something real and keep it. Promise to drink enough water and do it. Promise to stretch your body and do it. Promise to write 1 page and do it. Promise to avoid 1 harmful habit for today and do it. Each kept promise adds evidence that you can trust yourself. That trust becomes confidence. Confidence built on evidence is stronger than confidence built on feelings. You also need to learn patience with your own growth. A lot of people quit because they expect fast change. They do 3 discipline days and then become frustrated when their life has not transformed. But self-control is not a quick event. It is a practice. It is built by repeated correction. It is built by daily returns to the path. You will have setbacks. What matters is that you do not make the setback your identity. Return to the work. Return to the standard. Return to your values. That return is part of the strength. There is wisdom in starting small and staying steady. Small actions done with seriousness become powerful. You do not need a perfect plan to begin. You need a clear decision. You need enough honesty to admit what is holding you back. You need enough courage to begin again. You need enough patience to stay with the process. Improvement does not require a dramatic personality. It requires a disciplined spirit. It requires a person who is willing to become stronger in private. When your day gets difficult, bring your attention back to what you can control. You cannot control every event. You cannot control every opinion. You cannot control every delay. You cannot control every mood in the room. But you can control your breath. You can control your tone. You can control your next choice. You can control whether you keep moving. That is enough to change the direction of a day. Many people suffer because they focus too much on what is outside their hands. Peace begins when you return to what is inside your control. This is the Stoic way of living. It is clear. It is steady. It does not waste time fighting reality. It accepts what cannot be changed and acts fully where action is possible. Self-control grows in that space. When life feels uncertain, you do not have to become chaotic. You can stay centered. You can do your work. You can act with calm. You can keep your values intact. That is real strength, not hardness, not arrogance, not emotional denial. Real strength is the ability to remain useful and clear in difficult moments. You may not notice the full value of your discipline today, but one day you will look back and see that the small actions changed everything. They change the way you speak to yourself. They change the way you handle stress. They change the way you face work. They change the way you carry responsibility. They change the way other people trust you. They change the way you trust yourself. That is the real reward. Not only external success, internal stability. Keep going even when no one notices. Keep going even when progress feels slow. Keep going even when your old habits try to pull you back. Keep going even when the day is heavy. Keep going because your life is being shaped by what you repeat. Keep going because self-control is not built in one powerful moment. It is built in quiet daily actions repeated with care. It is built when you choose duty over impulse. It is built when you choose order over chaos. It is built when you choose strength over comfort. A person who masters themselves does not need to announce it. Their life becomes evidence. Their calm becomes evidence. Their consistency becomes evidence. Their results become evidence. Their peace becomes evidence. That is the kind of power worth building. It protects your future. It deepens your character. It gives your words more meaning because your actions match them. It allows you to move through life with less noise and more purpose. Begin today, not later. Not when the timing feels perfect today. Choose one discipline and hold it firmly. Then choose it again tomorrow and again after that. Build a life that does not depend on mood. Build a life that stands on principle. Build a life that grows stronger through quiet repeated action. That is how self-control becomes part of your identity. That is how you become reliable to yourself. That is how you move like a leader even in silence. Chapter 2. Strengthen inner confidence by keeping promises to yourself daily. Confidence does not begin with loud words or bold claims. It begins in quiet decisions that you keep when no one is watching. It grows when your actions match your intentions again and again. Every time you tell yourself you will do something and follow through, you send a clear message to your mind that your word has value. That message builds trust within you. That trust becomes inner confidence. Many people search for confidence in outside approval. They wait for others to recognize them. They hope for praise before they believe in themselves. But this creates a weak foundation. If your confidence depends on others, it will rise and fall based on opinions you cannot control. Real confidence is different. It is built from evidence. It is built from your own history of keeping promises to yourself. When you know that you do what you say, your belief becomes stable. Think about the small promises you make each day. Waking up at a certain time, completing a task you planned, avoiding a habit that harms your focus, finishing what you started, speaking honestly, taking care of your body. These may look simple, but they are powerful. Each one is a chance to prove reliability to yourself. Each one is a chance to strengthen your character. When these actions become consistent, something changes inside you. You stop doubting your ability to follow through. A broken promise to yourself may seem small in the moment, but it has a deeper effect. It weakens your self-trust. It teaches your mind that your words do not carry weight. When this happens, often hesitation begins to grow. You start second-guessing your plans. You delay action. You rely more on comfort than commitment. This is why keeping your word to yourself matters so much. It is not about perfection. It is about building a pattern of reliability. Start with promises that are realistic. Do not overload your day with expectations that are difficult to maintain. Choose something clear and achievable. For example, decide to spend 20 minutes on a meaningful task. Decide to drink enough water. Decide to organize your workspace. Decide to read a few pages. These are simple, but they are effective. When you complete them, you create proof that you are dependable. That proof is more powerful than any positive thought. There is a quiet strength that comes from doing what you planned even when you do not feel like it. Your mood will not always support your goals. Some days you will feel tired or distracted. Some days your energy will be low. In those moments, the choice to continue builds something deep. It teaches your mind that action does not depend on feeling. It shows that your decisions are guided by purpose, not comfort. This is where confidence becomes firm. Consistency matters more than intensity. A person who keeps small promises every day becomes stronger than someone who makes large promises and fails to follow through. Your mind pays attention to what you repeat. If you repeat discipline, your confidence grows. If you repeat avoidance, your confidence weakens. This is not complicated. It is direct and clear. What you do daily shapes how you see yourself. When you keep a promise, take a moment to notice it. Not with pride that seeks attention, but with quiet acknowledgement. Recognize that you followed through. This builds awareness. It reminds you that you are capable. It creates a steady sense of progress over time. These moments connect and form a strong inner belief. You begin to trust your ability to handle responsibility. There will be days when you fail to keep a promise. That is part of the process. What matters is how you respond. Do not turn a mistake into an excuse to quit. Do not speak to yourself in a harsh way that stops your progress. Instead, correct your direction. Return to your commitment. Learn what caused the break and adjust your approach. Confidence grows when you recover quickly and continue moving forward. Your environment plays a role in your ability to stay consistent. If your surroundings are filled with distractions, it becomes harder to keep your word. Create a space that supports your goals. Keep it simple and organized. Remove unnecessary noise. Set up your tools before you begin your work. These actions reduce resistance. They make it easier to follow through. Discipline becomes smoother when your environment supports your intention. Another important part of building inner confidence is setting clear boundaries. Learn to say no to things that pull you away from your priorities. When you say yes to everything, you spread your energy too thin. You lose focus. You break promises because you have taken on too much. Protect your time. Protect your attention. Choose what truly matters and give it your full effort. This clarity strengthens your commitment. Your thoughts also influence your confidence. Pay attention to how you speak to yourself. If your inner voice is filled with doubt, it will affect your actions. Replace that pattern with honest and supportive language. Remind yourself of what you have already accomplished. Remind yourself of your ability to stay consistent. This is not empty encouragement. It is based on real actions you have taken. Let your thoughts support your progress. Confidence is also built through responsibility. When you take ownership of your actions, you gain control over your life. You stop blaming circumstances. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You act with what you have. This approach builds strength. It shows that you are not dependent on external factors to move forward. You become reliable because you take responsibility for your choices. Daily routines are a powerful tool for strengthening confidence. A simple routine creates structure. It removes the need to decide everything in the moment. When your actions are planned, you are more likely to follow through. Start your day with a clear plan. Know what needs to be done. Focus on one task at a time. Complete it fully before moving to the next. This approach builds momentum. It reduces confusion. It supports consistency. Another key element is patience. Confidence does not appear overnight. It develops over time through repeated effort. Stay committed to the process. Do not rush the outcome. Focus on your actions. Focus on your growth. Each day you keep your promise, you are building something valuable. Trust that the results will follow. There is also value in tracking your progress. Keep a simple record of your daily commitments. Mark each day you follow through. This creates a visual reminder of your consistency. It shows you how far you have come. It also highlights areas where you need to improve. This awareness keeps you focused. It helps you stay accountable. Your physical state affects your mental strength. Take care of your body. Get enough rest. Move regularly. Eat in a way that supports your energy. When your body is strong, your mind becomes clearer. This makes it easier to keep your promises. It supports your ability to stay disciplined. Pay attention to the way you handle pressure. Difficult moments are opportunities to strengthen your confidence. When you stay calm and follow through during stress, you build resilience. You prove to yourself that you can handle challenges. This experience becomes part of your inner strength. It prepares you for future situations. Do not compare your progress to others. Your journey is your own. Focus on your actions. Focus on your improvement. Comparison can distract you from your path. It can weaken your confidence. Stay committed to your own standards. Measure your growth based on your own effort. There is power in silence. You do not need to announce every goal or share every plan. Work quietly. Let your actions speak. This approach keeps your focus strong. It protects your energy. It allows you to build confidence without external pressure. When your results appear, they will carry more weight. Trust is built through consistency. The more you keep your promises, the stronger your trust becomes. This trust changes how you approach challenges. You no longer hesitate as much. You move forward with clarity. You know that you can rely on yourself. This is the foundation of true confidence. Each day gives you a new opportunity to strengthen this foundation. Begin with a clear decision. Choose one promise and keep it. Then repeat this process. Over time, these actions create a powerful pattern. Your mind begins to expect follow-through. Your identity begins to shift. You become someone who acts with intention. There is a quiet satisfaction in knowing that you are dependable. It brings a sense of stability. It reduces doubt. It allows you to focus on growth instead of questioning your ability. This is not about perfection. It is about commitment. It is about showing up every day and doing what you said you would do. As your confidence grows, you will notice changes in other areas of your life. Your communication becomes clearer. Your decisions become stronger. Your relationships improve because you are reliable. Your work improves because you stay consistent. These changes are natural results of your discipline. Keep your promises even when they are small. They matter more than they appear. They shape your identity. They build your confidence. They create a foundation that supports long-term success. Stay patient. Stay consistent. Continue proving to yourself that your word has value. Move forward with quiet determination. Let your actions reflect your commitment. Build your confidence through daily discipline. Trust the process. Your strength will grow with every promise you keep. Chapter 3. Develop emotional discipline by responding calmly in difficult moments. Emotional discipline is one of the clearest signs of real strength. It shows up when life becomes uncomfortable and your first reaction is not the one that leads to peace. It shows up when someone speaks to you in a harsh way and you choose not to answer with more damage. It shows up when plans fail, pressure rises, and your mind wants to panic, but you stay steady long enough to think clearly. A person who can remain calm in difficult moments is not weak. That person is in control. That person is not being pulled around by every feeling, every insult, or every sudden change. Most people do not struggle because they have no emotions. They struggle because they let emotions make all the decisions. Anger speaks fast. Fear speaks fast. Frustration speaks fast. Hurt can speak even faster. When these feelings take over without restraint, they create choices that are later regretted. A harsh message is sent. A good relationship is damaged. A useful opportunity is missed. A simple problem turns into a bigger one because the response came from impulse instead of wisdom. Emotional discipline changes that pattern. It gives you the power to pause before damage is done. The first step is to understand that a feeling is not a command. You can feel upset without becoming destructive. You can feel anxious without surrendering to fear. You can feel insulted without needing to prove yourself in that exact moment. This kind of control takes practice, but it is possible. It begins with a simple inner rule. Do not let the first feeling become the final action. That one rule can protect your peace in more situations than you may realize. When a hard moment arrives, your body often reacts before your mind has fully settled. Your heart may beat faster. Your jaw may tighten. Your chest may feel heavy. Your thoughts may start racing. In those moments, do not rush to speak. Slow down enough to create space between the trigger and your reply. Even a short pause can change the direction of everything. Breathe in slowly. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your hands. Give your mind a chance to catch up with your emotions. Calm is not something that appears by accident. It is something you choose. People who stay calm are not ignoring reality. They are seeing it clearly enough not to make it worse. That is an important difference. Calmness does not mean pretending nothing is wrong. It means facing what is wrong without handing your mind over to chaos. It means asking what is true, what is useful, and what needs to be done next. This approach protects your dignity. It helps you act with purpose instead of emotional noise. One of the strongest habits you can build is to delay your response when emotions are high. You do not need to reply immediately to every message. You do not need to answer every comment in the moment. You do not need to solve a difficult situation while your mind is still heated. Give yourself time when you can. Step away if needed. Drink water. Walk for a few minutes. Write down what you are feeling before you speak it aloud. Often the simple act of waiting removes the most harmful edge from your response. What feels urgent in 1 minute may feel very different 10 minutes later. Emotional discipline is closely connected to self-respect. When you refuse to let anger control you, you protect your character. When you refuse to let disappointment turn into bitterness, you protect your mind. When you refuse to let fear make your decisions, you protect your future. Every calm response says, I will not become smaller because this moment is hard. That is a powerful choice. It keeps your life from being ruled by temporary pressure. There will be times when other people try to pull you into conflict. Some people want reactions because reactions give them control. Some people speak sharply because they want to disturb your peace. Some people use pressure to see how easily you lose yourself. In those moments, calmness is a form of strength. It does not mean you are accepting disrespect. It means you are choosing your response carefully. A calm person can set boundaries without losing control. A calm person can be firm without becoming cruel. A calm person can speak the truth without adding unnecessary damage. To build this discipline, begin noticing your personal triggers. What situations make you lose your center? Is it criticism, Is it being ignored? Is it disrespect? Is it uncertainty? Is it pressure at work or home? When you know what affects you most, you can prepare for it. Awareness helps you respond with more wisdom. You cannot manage what you refuse to notice. Look honestly at the situations that weaken your patience. Then decide in advance how you want to behave when they appear. One of the most useful skills in difficult moments is the ability to separate fact from feeling. A feeling may say this is a disaster. Fact may say this is a problem and it can be handled. A feeling may say I have failed completely. Fact may say I made a mistake and need to correct it. A feeling may say this person is attacking me. Fact may say this person spoke in a way I do not like and I need to respond with care. This shift in thinking keeps emotions from exaggerating the situation. It gives your mind a steadier view. Another important practice is choosing your words carefully. Words spoken in anger can stay in the mind of another person for a long time. They can damage trust quickly. A disciplined person understands that speech has power. In difficult moments, use fewer words if needed. Speak clearly. Speak respectfully. Speak only after you know what you really mean. A calm voice often carries more authority than a loud one. You do not need to shout to be taken seriously. In fact, the person who can stay controlled often earns more respect. Difficult moments are also a test of maturity. Anyone can be kind when life is easy. Anyone can smile when everything is going well, but real character appears when pressure arrives. Can you remain fair when stressed? Can you remain respectful when hurt? Can you remain steady when plans collapse? These are the moments that reveal whether you are guided by wisdom or by impulse. Emotional discipline grows each time you choose wisdom. Do not be ashamed of needing time to calm down. That is not failure. It is responsibility. It is better to step back and recover your balance than to rush into a bad response. There is strength in knowing your limits. There is strength in saying, I need a moment. There is strength in walking away from a heated exchange until your mind is clear. A person who protects peace has already won part of the battle. Your daily life gives you many chances to practice this. A slow line, a rude comment, a delay, a misunderstanding, a mistake by someone else, a sudden change in plans. Small moments like these are training grounds. Each one gives you a chance to strengthen your emotional control. The more you practice with small things, the better you handle larger ones. You do not build calmness in one big test. You build it in ordinary moments repeated over time. Sometimes the hardest part is dealing with yourself. You may feel disappointed in your own progress. You may feel embarrassed by a mistake. You may feel angry that you did not handle something better. In those moments, do not attack yourself. Correct yourself. Learn from it. Accept the truth without turning it into self-hatred. A calm mind can still demand accountability. In fact, accountability is clearer when it is free from emotional extremes. You can be honest without being cruel to yourself. There is also a strong connection between emotional discipline and long-term success. People who can stay calm under pressure tend to make better choices. They think more clearly. They communicate more effectively. They recover faster from setbacks. They waste less energy on drama. This does not mean they never feel stress. It means stress does not own them. That difference affects work, relationships, and personal growth. A disciplined emotional life creates a stronger foundation for everything else. If you want to grow in this area, make calm responses part of your daily standards. Before reacting, ask yourself what response would help the situation instead of hurting it. Ask yourself whether this moment needs speed or clarity. Ask yourself whether your words will build peace or increase damage. These questions create room for wisdom. They keep you from becoming a prisoner of the moment. It also helps to remember that you do not need to win every emotional battle through force. Sometimes the best answer is quiet restraint. Sometimes it is a calm correction. Sometimes it is a boundary spoken without anger. Sometimes it is simply stepping away. You are not proving your strength by reacting strongly. You are proving your strength by staying centered when life tries to shake you. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. At first, calm responses may feel difficult. Your old habits may pull you toward quick reactions. That is normal. Keep practicing. Keep choosing patience over impulse. Keep choosing clarity over drama. Keep choosing discipline over emotional collapse. The strength you are building is real and it will serve you for the rest of your life. A person who masters emotional discipline becomes dependable in hard times. Others feel safer around them. Their presence is steadier. Their words carry more weight because they are not spoken from chaos. Their actions become more thoughtful. Their life becomes less scattered. This is what it means to move like a leader even in silence. You do not need to be loud to be powerful. You need to be steady. You need to be wise. You need to stay in control when the moment is trying to control you. So when the next difficult moment comes, slow down, breathe, think, choose the answer that protects your peace and your dignity. Let calmness guide your next step. That choice may seem small in the moment, but it is shaping your future. Emotional discipline is built one response at a time, and every calm response makes you stronger than you were before. Chapter 4. Create clear goals and work on them without seeking attention. Clarity changes everything. When your goals are clear, your actions become focused. When your direction is defined, your energy stops scattering across things that do not matter. Many people feel stuck not because they lack ability but because they move without a clear target. They wake up and react to whatever appears. They spend time on tasks that feel busy but do not move their life forward. At the end of the day, they feel tired but not fulfilled. This pattern continues until they decide to bring clarity into their life. A clear goal gives your day a purpose. It tells you where to direct your effort. It removes confusion. It reduces hesitation. It creates a sense of direction that keeps you grounded even when distractions appear. Without a clear goal, it is easy to drift. You may start many things but finish very little. You may feel motivated one moment and lost the next. Clarity solves this problem by giving your mind something stable to focus on. Start by asking yourself what truly matters, not what looks impressive to others, not what brings quick approval, what actually improves your life in a meaningful way. It could be your health, your skills, your work, your financial stability, or your peace of mind. Choose something that has real value. Then define it in simple terms. Instead of saying you want to be better, decide what better means. It might mean exercising regularly, completing a course, saving a specific amount, or improving a skill. The clearer your goal, the easier it is to act on it. Once your goal is defined, break it into small actions. Large goals can feel overwhelming when you try to face them all at once. Small steps make progress manageable. They give you something specific to do each day. Instead of thinking about the entire journey, focus on the next action. This keeps your mind steady. It allows you to build momentum without feeling pressure from the size of the goal. There is a quiet strength in working toward your goals without seeking attention. When you stop looking for approval, your focus becomes stronger. You spend less time explaining your plans and more time executing them. This creates a deeper level of discipline. Your actions are no longer driven by the need to impress others. They are guided by your own standards. This shift is powerful. It frees you from unnecessary pressure and keeps your energy directed toward what matters. Seeking attention can weaken your progress. When you share your goals too early, you may feel a sense of satisfaction without doing the actual work. Words can create a false sense of achievement. You talk about what you will do and that talk replaces action. Over time, this pattern slows you down. Working quietly removes this problem. It keeps your focus on results instead of recognition. Silence protects your progress. It allows you to move without distraction. It gives you space to think clearly. It keeps your plans safe from outside opinions that may not support your direction. Not everyone will understand your goals. Some may question them, some may discourage you. When you work quietly, you reduce the influence of these voices. You stay connected to your own purpose. This does not mean you must isolate yourself completely. It means you choose carefully who you share your plans with. Speak with people who respect your effort and support your growth. Avoid sharing with those who create doubt or distraction. Protecting your focus is part of discipline. It ensures that your energy is not wasted. Daily action is where your goals come to life. A goal without action remains an idea. Progress happens when you show up consistently. Set a specific time to work on your goal. Treat it as a priority. Do not wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment rarely appears. Begin with what you have. Even a small effort each day creates movement. Over time, these small efforts build into significant results. Distractions will always exist. There will always be something that tries to pull your attention away. Social media, unnecessary conversations, and random tasks can consume your time if you allow them. Discipline requires you to limit these distractions. Create boundaries. Decide when you will focus and when you will rest. Keep your work time clear. This structure helps you stay consistent. Your environment also plays a role in your focus. A cluttered space can make your mind feel scattered. A noisy setting can make it harder to think. Create a space that supports your work. Keep it simple. Keep it organized. Remove items that are not needed. This makes it easier to concentrate. It reduces friction when you begin your task. There will be days when you feel like your progress is too slow. You may question whether your effort is enough. In those moments, remind yourself that steady progress is more valuable than fast but inconsistent effort. Growth takes time, skills take time, results take time. Stay committed to your process. Trust that your daily actions are building something real. Patience is part of discipline. When you work quietly, you may not receive immediate recognition. Others may not notice your effort. That is not a problem. Your focus is not on being seen. Your focus is on becoming better. Recognition may come later, but it is not the goal. The goal is growth. The goal is improvement. The goal is building a life that reflects your values. It is also important to review your progress. Take time to reflect on what you have done. Notice what is working and what needs adjustment. This keeps you aligned with your goal. It prevents you from drifting off track. Reflection does not need to be complicated. A few minutes at the end of the day or week can make a difference. Ask yourself if your actions are moving you forward. If not, adjust your approach. Stay flexible without losing your direction. Sometimes your plan may need to change. New information may appear. Circumstances may shift. Adapt when necessary, but do not abandon your goal without reason. Flexibility allows you to improve your method while staying committed to your purpose. Another important part of working quietly is managing your expectations. Do not expect constant excitement. Progress often feels ordinary. It may feel like repeating the same actions. It may feel slow. This is normal. Do not let this discourage you. Consistency is what creates results. Stay focused on your actions, not on how exciting they feel. Your mindset plays a key role in this process. Stay grounded. Avoid comparing your progress to others. Comparison can distract you from your own path. Everyone moves at a different pace. Focus on your own improvement. Measure your growth based on your own effort. There is also strength in finishing what you start. Completing tasks builds confidence. It shows that you can follow through. This habit supports your larger goals. It creates a pattern of reliability. When you start something, commit to seeing it through. This builds discipline and strengthens your character. Working without seeking attention also helps you develop independence. You become less reliant on external validation. Your motivation comes from your own standards. This creates a stable form of drive. It does not depend on praise or recognition. It stays consistent even when no one is watching. As you continue this process, you will notice changes in your focus and discipline. Your mind becomes clearer. Your actions become more deliberate. Your progress becomes more steady. These changes are not always visible to others, but they are real. They are shaping your life in a meaningful way. Keep your goals simple and clear. Keep your actions consistent. Protect your focus. Work quietly. Let your results speak when the time is right. This approach builds strength. It builds discipline. It builds a life that reflects your effort. Each day is an opportunity to move forward. Use it with intention. Do what matters without needing recognition. Stay committed to your path. Your quiet effort is creating real progress. Your discipline is shaping your future. Continue with patience and clarity. Your work will speak for itself. Chapter 5. Practice silent leadership by taking action before speaking to others. Leadership is often misunderstood as something that begins with words. People assume that a leader must speak first, give directions, and make their presence known. But the most effective form of leadership begins before any words are spoken. It begins with action. It begins with behavior that sets a standard others can see and follow. When your actions are aligned with your values, your presence carries weight without the need for constant explanation. Silent leadership is built on consistency. It is the habit of doing what needs to be done without waiting for recognition. It is showing up prepared. It is staying focused when others lose direction. It is handling responsibility with care. These actions communicate more than any speech. They show discipline. They show reliability. They show that you are someone who can be trusted in both simple and difficult situations. When you act before you speak, you remove doubt. People do not have to wonder whether you are serious. They can see it. They can feel it. Your behavior becomes your message. This creates a stronger form of influence. Words can be ignored, but consistent action is hard to dismiss. Over time, others begin to respect your approach because it is grounded in reality, not just intention. Many people fall into the habit of speaking about what should be done without taking the first step themselves. They give advice, point out problems, and suggest improvements, but their own behavior does not match their words. This creates a gap. That gap weakens trust. Silent leadership removes this gap. You demonstrate the standard before asking anyone else to follow it. This creates alignment between what you say and what you do. Taking action first also builds credibility. When you face a challenge and respond with effort instead of complaint, you show strength. When you handle a task without delay, you show discipline. When you remain steady under pressure, you show control. These qualities are noticed even when you are not trying to be noticed. They create a reputation that is based on evidence, not claims. There is a calm confidence in leading this way. You do not need to prove yourself through constant explanation. You do not need to convince others with long discussions. Your focus remains on doing the work well. This keeps your energy directed toward progress. It prevents you from wasting time on unnecessary talk. Silent leadership also requires awareness. You must understand the situation around you. You must see what needs to be done and act on it without waiting for instructions. This does not mean acting without thought. It means observing carefully and responding with purpose. Awareness allows you to take meaningful action instead of random effort. Responsibility is a key part of this approach. When you take ownership of your role, you become dependable. You do not look for excuses. You do not wait for others to solve problems that you can handle. You step forward when needed. This builds trust. People begin to rely on you because your actions show that you are willing to carry responsibility. There is also discipline in knowing when to speak. Silent leadership does not mean staying quiet at all times. It means choosing your words carefully and using them when they add value. When you have already demonstrated your commitment through action, your words carry more weight. People listen because they have seen your effort. They know your words are supported by experience. This approach creates a strong example for others. When people see consistent action, they are more likely to follow. Not because they are told to, but because they see the standard in practice. This is a natural form of influence. It does not rely on pressure. It relies on respect. You can practice this in daily life. At work, complete your tasks with care and attention. Be prepared. Be organized. Help solve problems without waiting to be asked. At home, take responsibility for your environment. Keep it in order. Support those around you through your actions. In personal growth, stay committed to your habits. Show discipline in how you manage your time and energy. These actions build a pattern of silent leadership. There will be moments when speaking is necessary. When you do speak, keep your message clear and direct. Avoid unnecessary complexity. Focus on what matters. Your words should guide, not confuse. Because your actions already show your commitment, your message will be easier to understand. It is also important to remain humble. Silent leadership is not about seeking control or recognition. It is about serving the situation. It is about doing what is needed without making it about yourself. Humility keeps your focus on the task, not on your image. It allows you to continue growing without becoming distracted by ego. Challenges will test this approach. There will be times when your effort is not noticed. There will be times when others take credit for work you contributed to. There will be times when your quiet approach is misunderstood. In these moments, stay grounded. Your goal is not immediate recognition. Your goal is consistent growth and reliable performance. Over time, your actions will build a strong reputation. Patience is essential. Results may not appear quickly. Influence grows through repeated behavior. Trust builds through consistency. Stay committed to your standards even when progress feels slow. Each action adds to your foundation. Each effort strengthens your position. There is also value in self-reflection. Take time to review your actions. Consider whether they align with your values. Identify areas where you can improve. This keeps your leadership grounded in reality. It ensures that your actions remain effective. Silent leadership also involves managing your reactions. Stay composed in difficult situations. Do not let pressure change your behavior. When you remain steady, others feel more secure. Your calm presence can guide the situation without the need for strong words. This is a powerful form of influence. Your body language also communicates your leadership. Stand with confidence. Move with purpose. Maintain focus during tasks. These signals show that you are engaged and committed. They support your actions and reinforce your message. Consistency is what makes this approach effective. One strong action is not enough. Leadership is built through repeated behavior. Each day is an opportunity to demonstrate your standards. Each task is a chance to show your discipline. Over time, these actions form a clear pattern that others can recognize. Silent leadership also builds inner strength. When you rely on action instead of words, you develop a deeper sense of discipline. You become more focused. You become more reliable. You learn to trust your ability to handle responsibility. This internal growth is valuable. It supports every area of your life. There is a sense of calm that comes from this approach. You are not trying to control everything through words. You are not reacting to every situation. You are acting with intention. This reduces stress. It keeps your mind clear. It allows you to focus on what truly matters. In relationships, silent leadership creates stability. People feel more comfortable around someone who is consistent. They trust someone who follows through. They respect someone who acts with integrity. Your behavior becomes a source of support for others. In work, this approach leads to reliability. You become someone who can be counted on. You handle tasks with care. You meet expectations. You solve problems. This builds a strong professional reputation. It opens opportunities because others see your value. In personal growth, silent leadership strengthens your habits. You do not rely on motivation alone. You act with discipline. You stay committed to your goals. This creates steady progress. It builds confidence because your actions match your intentions. Keep your focus on what you can control: your effort, your attitude, your behavior. Do not worry about how others respond. Do not seek constant feedback. Let your actions speak. Let your results develop over time. When you choose this path, you move with purpose. You act with clarity. You lead through example. You build trust through consistency. You influence without force. This is the essence of silent leadership. Continue to act before you speak. Continue to demonstrate your standards. Continue to build your reputation through consistent effort. Your actions are your message. Make them clear. Make them steady. Let them reflect the leader you are becoming. Chapter 6. Build strong habits that improve your life every single day. Your life will change the moment your daily habits become stronger than your excuses. This is where real transformation begins. Not in a single decision, not in a burst of motivation, but in what you choose to repeat every day. Habits shape your direction. They guide your behavior when your mind is tired, when your emotions are unstable, and when life becomes demanding. If your habits are weak, your progress will always feel uncertain. If your habits are strong, your life begins to move with structure and purpose. Every action you repeat becomes part of your identity. You are not defined by what you say you will do. You are defined by what you consistently do. When you build habits that support your growth, you slowly become the kind of person who lives with discipline, clarity, and control. This process is quiet, but it is powerful. It works in the background of your life, shaping your results over time. Start by understanding that habits do not need to be complicated. In fact, the simpler they are, the more likely they are to last. Many people fail because they try to change everything at once. They set goals that are too large and too demanding. They rely on strong motivation to carry them through, but motivation fades. When it fades, the system collapses. A better approach is to start small and stay consistent. Choose one habit that improves your life and commit to it daily. It might be waking up at a consistent time. It might be drinking enough water. It might be reading a few pages. It might be walking for 20 minutes. It might be organizing your space. These actions may seem basic, but they build discipline. They teach your mind to follow through. They create a foundation that supports more complex habits later. The key is repetition. A habit becomes strong when it is repeated enough times that it feels natural. In the beginning, it may require effort. You may need to rest. You may need to push through resistance. This is normal. Stay with the process. Each repetition makes the habit easier. Over time, it becomes part of your routine. It becomes something you do without much thought. That is when it starts to shape your life. Consistency matters more than intensity. Doing a small action every day is more effective than doing a large action once in a while. When you stay consistent, you build momentum. Momentum creates progress. Progress builds confidence. This cycle strengthens your discipline. It keeps you moving forward even when you do not feel motivated. Your environment plays a major role in your habits. If your surroundings support your actions, it becomes easier to stay consistent. If your environment is filled with distractions, it becomes harder to focus. Make simple adjustments. Keep your workspace clean. Remove items that pull your attention away. Place what you need within reach. These changes reduce friction. They make it easier to begin and continue your habit. Another important factor is timing. Attach your habit to a specific time in your day. This creates structure. It removes the need to decide when to act. For example, read after you wake up, exercise after work, plan your day before starting your tasks. When a habit is tied to a routine, it becomes more stable. It fits naturally into your schedule. There will be days when you do not feel like continuing. On those days, reduce the size of the habit, but do not skip it completely. If your plan is to read for 20 minutes, read for 5. If your plan is to exercise for 30 minutes, move for 10. The goal is to keep the habit alive. This maintains your consistency. It prevents breaks in your routine. A small effort is better than no effort. Avoid the mindset of perfection. You do not need to perform every habit perfectly. You need to perform it consistently. Progress comes from repetition, not from flawless execution. If you miss a day, return to your habit the next day. Do not allow one mistake to become a pattern. Stay focused on your long-term consistency. Tracking your habits can help you stay accountable. Keep a simple record of your daily actions. Mark each day you complete your habit. This creates a visual reminder of your effort. It shows your progress. It also highlights gaps where you need to improve. This awareness keeps you engaged in the process. Your habits should align with your goals. If you want to improve your health, build habits that support your body. If you want to grow your knowledge, build habits that support learning. If you want to improve your focus, build habits that reduce distractions. Each habit should have a clear purpose. This keeps your effort meaningful. It is also important to remove habits that hold you back. Identify actions that waste your time or reduce your energy. Limit them, replace them with better choices. This is not about removing all comfort from your life. It is about creating balance. It is about ensuring that your habits support your growth instead of slowing it down. Habits also influence your mindset. When you follow through on your daily actions, you build self-trust. You begin to believe in your ability to stay consistent. This belief strengthens your confidence. It makes it easier to take on new challenges. It creates a positive cycle where your actions support your mindset and your mindset supports your actions. Discipline is built through habits. It is not something you wait to feel. It is something you practice daily. Each time you complete a habit, you reinforce your discipline. Each time you avoid a negative habit, you strengthen your control. This process builds a stable foundation for your life. Your habits also affect your energy. Positive habits improve your physical and mental state. They help you stay focused. They reduce stress. They create a sense of order. Negative habits drain your energy. They create confusion. They make it harder to stay consistent. Choose habits that support your well-being. There is value in starting your day with intention. A simple morning routine can set the tone for the rest of your day. Wake up at a consistent time. Take a moment to plan your tasks. Begin with something productive. This creates a sense of control. It prepares your mind for the day ahead. Evening habits are also important. Take time to review your day. Notice what you did well. Identify areas for improvement. Prepare for the next day. This reflection helps you stay aligned with your goals. It keeps your progress steady. Patience is necessary. Habits take time to develop. Do not expect immediate results. Focus on the process. Trust that your daily actions are building something valuable. Stay committed even when progress feels slow. Results will follow. There is strength in simplicity. You do not need a complex system to improve your life. You need clear habits and consistent action. Keep your approach simple. Focus on what matters. Remove what does not. As your habits become stronger, you will notice changes in your life. Your focus will improve. Your energy will increase. Your confidence will grow. These changes are not sudden. They develop gradually. They come from your daily effort. Stay committed to your habits even when life becomes busy. Your routine provides stability during uncertain times. It keeps you grounded. It helps you maintain control over your actions. Each day is an opportunity to reinforce your habits. Use it wisely. Complete your actions with intention. Stay consistent. Keep moving forward. Strong habits create a strong life. They shape your behavior. They guide your decisions. They support your goals. Continue building habits that improve your life every single day. Your effort is creating real change. Stay disciplined. Stay focused. Keep going. Chapter 7. Train your mind to stay focused despite distractions and noise. The quality of your life depends on what you choose to focus on. When everything around you is trying to pull your attention away, in a world filled with constant noise, staying focused has become a rare skill. Messages appear every minute. Notifications demand your attention. People expect quick responses. Distractions are designed to keep you occupied. If you do not train your mind, it will follow whatever is easiest and most immediate. This leads to scattered thinking, unfinished work, and a constant feeling of being behind. Focus is not something you are born with or without. It is something you build through daily practice. It is the ability to direct your attention toward one meaningful task and stay with it until it is complete. This sounds simple, but it requires discipline. Your mind naturally looks for variety stimulation. It wants to move quickly from one thing to another. Training your focus means guiding your mind back to what matters again and again until it learns to stay steady. Begin by understanding what distraction really is. Distraction is not only what comes from outside. It also comes from within. Your thoughts can pull you away just as easily as your phone or your environment. You may sit down to work and within minutes your mind starts thinking about something else. You remember a conversation, a worry, or a random idea. This is normal. The goal is not to stop all thoughts. The goal is to notice when your attention shifts and bring it back without frustration. Choose one task that truly matters. Not something that feels urgent for a moment, but something that moves your life forward. When you begin, remove what you can control. Put your phone away or silence it. Close unnecessary tabs. Sit in a space where interruptions are limited. These actions reduce external noise. They give your mind a better chance to stay focused. Set a clear time to work on that task. It could be 20 minutes or 1 hour depending on your schedule. During that time, commit to staying with the task. When your mind tries to drift, bring it back. You do not need to react to every thought. You do not need to check every message. Stay with your work. This is how focus is trained. Not through perfect concentration, but through repeated redirection. Your ability to return to your task is more important than how often you get distracted. Each time you bring your attention back, you strengthen your control. This is similar to training a muscle. The effort may feel small, but it builds over time. With consistent practice, your focus becomes stronger. You begin to stay engaged for longer periods without feeling restless. It is important to understand that focus requires energy. If your body is tired, your mind will struggle to stay sharp. Take care of your physical state. Rest when needed. Stay hydrated. Move your body regularly. These habits support your mental clarity. When your body feels stable, your mind becomes easier to manage. Another key part of focus is having clear priorities. If you try to do everything at once, your attention will be divided. Decide what matters most for the day. Keep your list simple. Focus on completing one important task before moving to the next. This approach reduces confusion. It helps you stay aligned with your goals. Avoid the habit of constant switching. Moving from one task to another may feel productive, but it often reduces the quality of your work. Each switch requires your mind to adjust. This takes time and energy. When you stay with one task, your thinking becomes deeper. Your work becomes more effective. You make better progress. There will be moments when distractions feel strong. You may feel the urge to check your phone or look for something easier. In those moments, pause and ask yourself if this action helps your goal. This simple question creates awareness. It reminds you of your intention. It gives you a chance to choose wisely instead of acting on impulse. Your environment should support your focus. Keep your workspace clean and organized. Remove items that do not serve your task. A clear space helps create a clear mind. It reduces visual noise. It makes it easier to concentrate. Noise is not always external. Sometimes it comes from pressure and stress. When your mind feels overwhelmed, focus becomes difficult. In these moments, slow down. Take a few deep breaths. Break your task into smaller steps. Start with one simple action. This reduces the feeling of being overwhelmed. It allows you to move forward with clarity. There is also value in taking short breaks. Focus does not mean working without rest. It means working with intention. After a period of deep focus, step away for a few minutes. Stretch your body. Look away from your screen. Let your mind reset. Then return to your task with fresh attention. This cycle helps maintain your energy. Training your mind also involves managing your thoughts. Negative thinking can distract you as much as external noise. Doubt, worry, and overthinking can pull your attention away from your work. When these thoughts appear, do not fight them with force. Acknowledge them and return to your task. Keep your attention on what you can control. Discipline plays a central role in focus. You may not always feel like concentrating. You may feel tired or unmotivated. In those moments, rely on your commitment, not your mood. Begin your task anyway. Often the act of starting creates momentum. Once you have engaged, focus becomes easier. Avoid the habit of waiting for perfect conditions. There will always be some level of noise or distraction. Waiting for complete idleness may delay your progress. Train your mind to work despite small disturbances. This builds resilience. It prepares you for real situations where conditions are not ideal. Your daily routine can support your focus. Set specific times for important work. Treat these times as non-negotiable. This creates art structure. It trains your mind to expect focused effort at certain times. Over time, this becomes a natural rhythm. Limit unnecessary input. Constant consumption of information can overload your mind. Reduce the time spent on content that does not add value. This frees up mental space. It allows your mind to stay clearer and more focused on your own work. Practice patience with yourself. Focus improves gradually. There will be days when your attention feels strong and days when it feels scattered. Stay consistent. Continue training your mind. Each effort contributes to your growth. As your focus improves, you will notice changes in your work and your thinking. You will complete tasks more efficiently. You will make fewer mistakes. You will feel more in control of your time. This creates a sense of confidence. It shows that you can direct your attention where it matters. Focus is a form of discipline. It reflects your ability to choose what deserves your attention. It protects your time from being wasted. It allows you to make meaningful progress. Without focus, effort becomes scattered. With focus, effort becomes powerful. Keep your attention on what matters. Return to your task each time your mind drifts. Reduce distractions where possible. Build a routine that supports your work. Stay patient with the process. Your mind will become stronger with practice. Each day gives you a chance to improve your focus. Use it. Stay committed to your priorities. Let your actions reflect your intention. Over time, your ability to concentrate will become one of your greatest strengths. Chapter 8. Take full responsibility for choices and results in your life. The moment you accept full responsibility for your life is the moment your power returns to you. This is where real change begins. Not when conditions become perfect. Not when others start behaving differently, but when you decide that your choices and your actions are yours to own. Responsibility is not a burden. It is a form of control. It gives you the ability to shape your direction instead of waiting for life to move you. Many people stay stuck because they look outside for reasons. They blame circumstances, other people, timing or past events. While some situations are difficult and unfair, staying in a pattern of blame keeps you powerless. It creates a mindset where change feels impossible. When you shift your focus to what you can control, everything becomes clearer. You may not control every event, but you always control your response, your effort, and your decisions moving forward. Taking responsibility begins with honesty. You must look at your life as it is, not as you wish it to be. This requires courage. It means admitting where you have made mistakes. It means recognizing where you have avoided action. It means seeing patterns that may not be comfortable to accept. This is not about judging yourself harshly. It is about seeing clearly so you can improve. Your results are connected to your choices. The way you spend your time, the habits you repeat, the decisions you make each day all shape your outcomes. If something in your life is not working, look at the actions behind it. This approach removes confusion. It shows you where to adjust. It gives you a path forward. There is strength in saying this is my responsibility. It shifts your mindset from reaction to action. Instead of asking why something happened to you, you begin to ask what you can do about it. This question leads to progress. It directs your energy towards solutions instead of problems. Responsibility also includes your thoughts. The way you think influences the way you act. Negative thinking can lead to hesitation and poor decisions. Positive thinking alone is not enough, but clear and realistic thinking helps you respond better. Train your mind to focus on what is useful. Avoid thoughts that create unnecessary doubt or distraction. Your time is one of your most valuable resources. Taking responsibility means using it wisely. Pay attention to how you spend your hours. Notice where time is lost on activities that do not support your goals. Make adjustments. Replace those moments with actions that move you forward. This does not require a perfect schedule. It requires awareness and intention. Another important part of responsibility is keeping your word. When you commit to something, follow through. This builds trust with others and with yourself. If you cannot complete a commitment, communicate clearly and take ownership. Avoid making excuses. This approach strengthens your character. It shows that you take your actions seriously. Responsibility also means accepting the consequences of your decisions. Every choice leads to a result. Some results will be positive and some will not. When outcomes are not what you expected, learn from them. Do not avoid them. Do not hide from them. Use them as information. This helps you make better decisions in the future. There will be moments when taking responsibility feels difficult. You may feel the urge to defend your actions or shift the blame. In those moments, pause and choose honesty. Acknowledge your role. This does not make you weak. It makes you stronger. It shows that you are willing to grow. Your environment can influence your behavior, but it does not define it. You can make changes even in challenging conditions. Start with what you can control. Organize your space. Set clear priorities. Limit distractions. These actions create a better foundation for your decisions. Responsibility also applies to your relationships. The way you communicate, The way you listen and the way you respond all affect the people around you. Take ownership of your role in interactions. Speak clearly. Act with respect. Address issues directly instead of avoiding them. This builds stronger connections in your work. Responsibility means doing your tasks with care. Do not wait for someone to check on you. Take initiative. Complete your work to the best of your ability. Look for ways to improve. This approach builds a reputation of reliability. It opens opportunities because others can trust your effort. Personal growth requires consistent responsibility. Set clear goals and take daily action. Review your progress. Adjust your approach when needed. Stay committed even when progress feels slow. Responsibility keeps you moving forward. It prevents you from drifting. There is also a connection between responsibility and freedom. When you take ownership of your life, you gain more control over your direction. You are no longer dependent on external factors to make progress. You create your own opportunities through your actions. This is a powerful position to be in. Avoid the habit of waiting for motivation. Motivation can help, but it is not reliable. Responsibility is steady. It keeps you acting even when you do not feel like it. It creates consistency. Consistency leads to results. You will face challenges along the way. Plans may not work as expected. Situations may change. In these moments, stay focused on what you can do next. Do not get stuck in frustration. Move forward with purpose. This keeps your progress alive. Reflection is a useful tool for building responsibility. Take time to review your actions. Ask yourself what you did well and what needs improvement. This creates awareness. It helps you stay aligned with your goals. Avoid comparing your progress to others. Your path is unique. Focus on your own actions. Measure your growth based on your effort and your improvement. This keeps your attention where it belongs. Responsibility also means taking care of your well-being. Your physical and mental health affect your ability to act, get enough rest, stay active, manage stress. These habits support your ability to make good decisions. There is a sense of stability that comes from taking responsibility. You feel more in control. You feel more capable. You understand that your actions have meaning. This creates confidence. It allows you to face challenges with a steady mindset. Keep your focus on your choices. Each day presents opportunities to act with intention. Use them. Make decisions that support your goals. Learn from your experiences. Continue improving. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Start where you are. Use what you have. Take responsibility for your next step. This approach creates momentum. It moves you forward. Your life is shaped by what you choose to do consistently. Take ownership of those choices. Take ownership of your results. This is how you build a strong foundation. This is how you create lasting change. Stay committed to this mindset. Let your actions reflect your responsibility. Continue to grow through your decisions. Your future is built on what you do today. Chapter 9. Led by example through consistent actions that earn respect quietly. Respect is not demanded through words. It is built through behavior that stays consistent even when no one is watching. The strongest form of leadership is not loud. It does not depend on approval or recognition. It is expressed through steady action, repeated effort, and calm discipline over time. When your actions stay aligned with your values, people begin to trust you naturally. They do not need persuasion. They see proof. Leading by example begins with your daily behavior. What you choose to do when there is no pressure to perform defines your character more than any public moment ever will. Many people speak about discipline, responsibility, and growth, but their actions do not reflect their words. This creates distance between intention and reality. True leadership removes that distance. It is not about explaining standards. It is about living them. Consistency is the foundation of quiet respect. One strong action can impress someone for a moment, but repeated actions create lasting trust. When people see that you behave the same way across time in different situations, they begin to rely on you. They understand that your behavior is not temporary. It is part of who you are. This reliability becomes your influence. You do not need to announce your efforts. In fact, silence often strengthens your impact. When you work without needing attention, your results become more meaningful. You avoid the distraction of validation. You stay focused on the process instead of reactions. This keeps your energy directed toward improvement rather than performance. Leading by example also means doing what is right even when it is inconvenient. There will be moments when no one expects you to take responsibility. There will be times when it would be easier to ignore a task or delay effort. In those moments, choosing action builds integrity. It shows that your discipline is not dependent on external pressure. It is guided by internal standards. People observe more than they respond. Even if they do not say it, they notice consistency. They notice punctuality. They notice effort. They notice how you handle pressure. They notice whether your behavior changes based on comfort or challenge. These small observations form their perception of you. You do not need to announce your values. You demonstrate them through repetition. Respect earned quietly is stronger than respect gained through words. When respect comes from action, it is stable. It does not fade quickly. It is built on trust. When people respect your consistency, they are more likely to follow your example without needing instruction. This is real influence. It does not depend on authority. It depends on character. Your private actions matter as much as your public ones. How you behave when no one is watching defines your foundation. If you maintain discipline in private, it becomes easier to maintain it in public. There is no separation between the two. They reflect each other. A person who is consistent in private naturally becomes reliable in public. Leading by example requires patience. You may not see immediate recognition. Others may not acknowledge your effort right away. That does not reduce its value. Influence grows slowly. It builds through repeated exposure. Each consistent action adds to your reputation. Over time, your presence begins to carry weight without you needing to speak. Avoid the need to compare your progress with of others. Leadership is not a competition. It is a responsibility. Focus on your own behavior. Focus on your own discipline. Focus on the standards you set for yourself. Comparison often leads to distraction. It shifts attention away from improvement and toward judgment. Stay focused on your own path. Your environment can benefit from your consistency. When you maintain order, others around you often adjust their behavior. Without forcing change, your example creates structure. When you stay calm under pressure, others feel more stable. When you complete your responsibilities, others become more aware of their own. Leadership does not always require instruction. Sometimes it simply requires steady behavior. Communication also plays a role in leading by example. Speak clearly and directly when needed, but avoid unnecessary explanation. Let your actions carry most of the message. When words are supported by behavior, they become more powerful. When words are not supported, they lose strength. Keep your communication aligned with your actions. There will be situations where your consistency is tested. Pressure, fatigue, and unexpected challenges will appear. These moments reveal the strength of your discipline. Staying steady during difficulty builds respect faster than anything else. Anyone can perform well when conditions are easy. True leadership appears when conditions are not. One of the most effective ways to build respect is through reliability. When you say you will do something, do it. When you commit to a responsibility, complete it. When people can depend on your actions, they begin to trust your presence. Reliability is not built through promises. It is built through delivery. Your attitude also contributes to how others perceive you. A calm and steady attitude creates stability. A reactive and inconsistent attitude creates uncertainty. Leading by example does not require perfection. It requires control. It requires the ability to stay composed even when situations are not ideal. You do not need to compete for attention. Attention is temporary. Respect is long-lasting. Focus on creating value through your actions. Focus on improving your own discipline. Focus on building habits that reflect your standards. When you do this consistently, recognition often follows naturally, but it is no longer your goal. Every small action contributes to your example. How you handle simple tasks matters. How you treat others matters. How you manage your time matters. These everyday choices create the foundation of your influence. People often remember behavior more than words. They remember how you acted when it mattered. Avoid the habit of doing things only when observed. This weakens your integrity. Instead, act with the same level of seriousness regardless of attention. This builds inner stability. It ensures that your discipline does not depend on external factors. It becomes part of your identity. Leadership through example is not about control. It is about responsibility. It is about being steady in your actions so others can trust your presence. It is about showing what consistency looks like without forcing others to follow. Influence grows naturally when your behavior is aligned with your values. There is strength in being quiet but consistent. You do not need to announce your progress. You do not need to prove your worth through constant explanation. Your actions speak clearly over time. They build a reputation that does not rely on words. Stay focused on your own standards. Do not adjust your behavior based on temporary opinions. Stay grounded in your principles. Keep your actions aligned with your goals. This creates a stable foundation for leadership. Over time, people begin to notice patterns. They see that your behavior does not change based on convenience. They see that your effort remains steady. They see that your actions match your words. This consistency builds trust without effort. Respect earned through example is quiet but powerful. It does not fade easily. It does not require maintenance through constant validation. It is built through discipline and maintained through consistency. This form of leadership is stable and lasting. Continue to show up with intention. Continue to act with discipline. Continue to maintain your standards even when no one is watching. Your example is shaping how others see you. More importantly, it is shaping who you are becoming. Let your actions define your presence. Let your consistency build your respect. Let your behavior speak clearly without needing noise. This is how quiet leadership is formed. This is how influence becomes natural. Chapter 10. Commit to lifelong growth by improving one small habit daily. Your future is shaped not by sudden transformation but by the small improvements you are willing to repeat every single day. Real growth is not loud. It does not happen in one dramatic moment. It happens quietly through small decisions that slowly change who you are becoming. When you commit to improving just one small habit each day, you place yourself on a path that never stops moving forward. This is how lifelong growth begins. Many people believe change must be big to be meaningful. They try to fix everything at once. They change their routines, set large goals, and push themselves hard for a short time. But this approach rarely lasts. When pressure builds, they fall back into old patterns. Real progress does not come from intensity alone. It comes from consistency. One small improvement repeated daily creates more lasting change than a short burst of effort that fades quickly. A small habit may seem insignificant at first. It could be waking up a little earlier. It could be drinking more water. It could be reading a few pages. It could be organizing your space before starting work. It could be spending a few minutes reflecting on your day. These actions may look simple, but they carry long-term power. When repeated, they shape your mindset, your behavior, and your identity. Improving one small habit each day does not mean changing everything daily. It means focusing on steady refinement. You do not need to transform your entire life in a short time. You only need to move it slightly forward each day. That small movement adds up. Over weeks, it becomes noticeable. Over months, it becomes meaningful. Over years, it becomes life-changing. The key is awareness. Pay attention to your daily actions. Notice where you can make small improvements. Maybe you can reduce distraction during work. Maybe you can respond more calmly in conversations. Maybe you can complete a task a little faster or with more care. These are small adjustments, but they improve your overall direction. Growth is not always about adding more. Sometimes it is about refining what already exists. You do not need to overload your day with new responsibilities. Instead, improve the quality of what you are already doing. Make one habit slightly better. Then build on that improvement over time. Consistency turns small actions into identity. When you repeat a behavior every day, it becomes part of who you are. You no longer have to force it. It becomes natural. This is how lasting change happens. Not through pressure, but through repetition. Not through urgency, but through steady effort. There will be days when progress feels slow. You may not notice immediate results. That is normal. Growth often happens below the surface before it becomes visible. A tree does not grow overnight. Its strength builds gradually through time. Your habits work in the same way. Trust the process even when progress feels quiet. One of the most important parts of lifelong growth is patience. Without patience, you may abandon habits too early. You may expect quick results and lose motivation when they do not appear. But when you understand that improvement is gradual, you stay committed longer. That commitment is what creates transformation. Focus on progress, not perfection. You do not need to perform your habit flawlessly. You only need to repeat it consistently. Some days will be strong. Some days will be average. Some days will feel difficult. What matters is that you return to your habit each day. That return builds discipline. Your environment can support your growth. Make small adjustments that make your habits easier to follow. Keep your space organized. Reduce distractions where possible. Prepare what you need in advance. These simple changes reduce resistance. They make it easier to stay consistent. Tracking your progress can also help. It gives you a clear picture of your consistency. It shows you how far you have come. Even simple methods like marking completed days can create motivation. It reminds you that small actions are adding up. Avoid the temptation to compare your progress with others. Everyone has a different pace. Your only focus should be your own improvement. Comparison often creates unnecessary pressure. It shifts attention away from growth and toward judgment. Stay focused on your own habits and your own direction. Lifelong growth requires flexibility. As you improve, your habits may change. What works today may need adjustment tomorrow. Be open to refining your approach. Do not hold on to routines that no longer serve you. Growth means adapting while staying committed to improvement. Your mindset plays a major role in this process. See yourself as someone who is always improving. Not someone who is trying to become perfect, but someone who is always evolving. This mindset removes pressure. It keeps you focused on progress instead of unrealistic expectations. Small habits also influence your confidence. Every time you complete a habit, you reinforce trust in yourself. You prove that you can follow through. This builds inner strength. Over time, this trust becomes a foundation for larger actions and bigger goals. There is also value in simplicity. You do not need complex systems to grow. You need clear habits that you can maintain daily. Keep your approach simple. Focus on one improvement at a time. This prevents overwhelm and increases consistency. When you commit to improving one small habit daily, you create momentum. That momentum carries you forward even when motivation is low. It becomes easier to continue than to stop. This is how discipline becomes natural. There will be setbacks. You may miss a day or struggle with consistency at times. Do not let this stop your progress. A setback is not failure. It is part of the process. What matters is how quickly you return to your habit. The faster you return, the stronger your growth becomes. Your habits shape your identity. Each small improvement adds to the person you are becoming. Over time, these improvements create a version of you that is more focused, more disciplined, and more capable. This transformation is gradual, but it is real. Lifelong is not a destination. It is a continuous process. There is always something to improve, always something to refine. This mindset keeps you moving forward. It keeps you engaged in your own development. It prevents stagnation. As you continue improving one small habit each day, you will notice changes in other areas of your life. Your focus becomes sharper. Your decisions become clearer. Your confidence becomes stronger. These changes are the result of consistent effort over time. Stay committed to this approach. Do not rush the process. Do not look for shortcuts. Trust that each small improvement is building something meaningful. Even when progress feels slow, it is still happening. Your life is shaped by what you repeat. Choose habits that support your growth. Improve them step by step. Stay patient. Keep moving forward. Lifelong growth is built through simple actions repeated daily. One small habit at a time, one steady improvement after another. This is how lasting change is created. This is how you continue becoming better every day.